Okay, so we missed a couple episodes of Boruto, like maybe like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I think just to like summarize like what happened, it's kind of like internships for like for all the students, like going to all these different like types of like jobs.
Yeah, they're doing the job shadowing that most juniors do.
Most juniors and seniors actually do in high school, so that's really cool.
Mm.
And so what Boruto and Shigadai and Mitsuku have in mind is that they go inside to join the post office, as that's a job that requires you to go to place like within the village, which kind of works in their favor when it comes to like investigating the shadow. However, due to Boruto's impatience, they
fuck it up.
They fuck it up and
grandly,
and they cause to like prevent themselves from getting into the scene of the crime like earlier than expected. And so, as a result, what ends up happening is that like one of their classmates, actually 3 of their classmates, like get into trouble with one of the shadow figures that shows up in one of their shadowing job locations.
Yeah, it was at the water purification plant. It happened to Sumire and the rest of her posse.
Right. And sadly, what ended up, I'm slowly getting distracted by what's happening on screen right here. Naruto comes in. He pulls like Boruto to a second to show like who the guy who was
responsible for
it, and tells him like, all right, I know that you've been doing all this like little detective work, but this has become serious.
Yeah.
You need to stay away from this. And Shino, of all people, comes in and defends Boruto and the others, pretty much kind of voicing like in a way to kind of view how Naruto would be in that situation, I guess, and the fact that like sometimes kids do more than what adults do. And so what the gist of that was that Boruto, Shigadai, and Mitsuki are not going to be treated as like kids according to Shino. Shino's going to see them more as like actual ninjas.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen like what the extent of that actually really means for them, but as far as they know, like they're kind of off the hook for this.
Yeah, a bit.
I guess they have a little bit more free reign as to what they can do. Like Shino will take it like turn a blind eye to him a little bit.
And I'm pretty sure he'll give him like guidance like, you can't do this, but I mean, that's not saying you can't exactly do this. I'm not encouraging it. I'm not saying you should, but you can't not do it.
You can't not. But essentially, that's Boruto's cue to think like, okay, so we gotta do this for his sake as well. And so they make up this like really grand plan as to how to unveil who the person responsible for all the shadow events or ghost events occurring. And what was really interesting, again, like, quickly going over this, is the fact that they kind of lured the shadow, because the ghost was just like following them, pretty much knowing their every move, and pretty much actually quite ingeniously like lured them into the post office, because that was the last place they would ever look. They corner him. He gets away though. I think Mitsuki was the last person to see him.
Yeah, Mitsuki let him walk by.
Yeah, and that was a really weird thing. I'm not sure if that ever gets unveiled in this episode or not. But kind of fast forward to like the present time. Now, the episode starts with a 3 like man squad like obstacle course. And in short, everyone fails.
Everyone fails
because one
person. There would have been one pass had they been just a wee bit quicker.
And they didn't talk as much.
Yeah, they spent way too much time talking. And that was who else but Boruto's group?
Boruto, Denki, Mitsuki again. And essentially the whole gist of the course is that all 3 units need to be at the finish line all together within a set amount of time. And as far as I see, like
there's 1 to 2 dropouts.
Yeah, due to just like, oh, I failed to jump this or that. And Denki was going to be like one of those people, but Boruto came in to save him. Mitsuki was kind of like perplexed by that. He's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, he was more of original Kakashi.
Yeah.
Where it's mission first, everything else second.
Yeah, in that respect, Kakashi would have failed that as well. But here,
yeah, he'd have left the fuck out of
Boruto. I can imagine like same idea, but like with Kakashi's old group. And then as you see Obito like falling down the cliff, he says, "Guys, can you come get me?" And you just hear, "How could this happen to me?" play in the background. And Kakashi just says like, "Jana." Kakashi! But Boruto actually goes back for Denki with the Shadow Clones and assists. Mitsuki like spontaneously like acts on his well, and he actually wonders about that later with Shigadai, like, why did I do that?
Yeah, it's like something foreign to him to kind of
assist when not needed to. And Shigadai was like, well, I guess that kind of happens to all of us, like when hanging around Boruto. I think the idea of showcasing that was to show like a little more of Boruto's side, like
he's very much like his father.
Very much like his father. But also later on reveals that he's trying to do it to avoid being his father.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like trying to become politics to defeat politics, you know?
And simply it's because he doesn't want to be like how he perceived Naruto, which is abandoning his friends and family for his job. Which he got his job because he did the exact opposite of abandon his friends and family.
Boy, if you know. But just going back, focusing on the story a little bit as far as the timeline, I remember that Mitsuki like really inquires about like why is everyone like this, and we get like Jin like saying like, what did Inuji say? He's just like, oh well, I mean,
he's an idiot.
He's just fine.
He acts more upon what he thinks of himself and not what others think of him.
That's true.
Because he got tired of being seen and thought of as only the Hokage's son.
Okay, that was really nice. And so Mitsuki also like pays a visit to class rep, and she like kind of comes off as like a little bit more innocent. Like, I don't really know why this is all happening, but it's always fun to have Boruto around. I mean, sure, it's a little bit stressful on me, but everyone seems to be having fun. And there was something about that scene that felt a little off. I'm not sure if like, I mean, it'll probably be revealed later, but I have a feeling that she might be connected to everything.
Think so?
I think so. Just kind of based off of like what Mitsuki's been telling, like, or like what's happened in his head or something like that. As well as like some of the previews here and there. But I mean, aside from that, Mitsuki like meets up with Boruto the following day. Says pretty much, I don't know how he gets that up, but he pretty much visits Boruto at his house. They go together, and pretty much is a visitor for the day. What happens also? Himawari says like, and also Hinata says like, well, Dad's coming home early. Like, oh, so all right. I guess it can't be. I guess it can't be helped. No. But
stop that.
And it's actually kind of cool because like Mitsuki seems to be asking the real questions as far as like voicing like everyone here. As far as like, what do you really think of like the Hokage?
Yeah, like. Do you hate him?
What do you think of him?
Yeah.
And of course, they're not gonna like let everyone know just right off the bat. We have to wait until Naruto actually shows up and actually causes something to happen. And for the most part, Naruto like acts like his same old self until something happens on the Hokage office side of things, in which the clone was working there. Shikamaru says like, "Oh, there's something going on. You should probably take it easy though." Like, no, I'll go over there. Just give me a second.
I'm surprised he actually went home.
Yeah, I was thinking that the clone would disappear at Naruto's as the abode, but
much like in the movie.
Yeah, but which makes me kind of wonder about the movie, but yeah. So unfortunately, with that, Naruto has to go. Boruto gets really upset over the fact like, why you keep doing this? And you find a little bit more of like, I guess, a weakness of Boruto, because I think like Boruto is a really good character just by like his moral sense, but it's because of like what his father does, his actions that cause Boruto to be who he is. So even though you have like a lot of like good perks about him, the one flaw is the fact that like he holds a grudge over like, just like, I guess
he can't see the big picture.
Yeah,
is his problem.
And also like with shit, I'm getting distracted. I'm actually really curious as to what's happening on screen here again.
Professional, Justin. Professional.
Yeah, Gabe, professional.
I'm not the one being distracted by the game, and I'm the one playing it.
Yeah, oh god. Okay, I'll do a cut somewhere. Yeah, it's just a weird thing like with Boruto is like, personality is that like it's all fueled by the fact that he doesn't like the Hokage. He doesn't hate Naruto per se, but
he doesn't like the title Hokage. It took his father from him.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I think that's what ends up happening. Like that's the pure drive for like Boruto's actions. Like from here on, like sure he seems like a really good guy. He probably is based on like how he's been doing things like up till now. But it's all like because of the fact that it's all fueled by this like I guess selfishness of him.
Yeah.
That like he wants his father to be there. It's because his father's never there that he kind of like puts himself like in a different position where he sacrificed himself for his friends in the belief that he's doing better than his father.
Yeah, he's willing to put himself in harm's way to protect those that he cares for.
And I wonder if Naruto kind of like understands that, because like I mean certainly like Naruto does things so he gets acknowledged, and that's kind of the same thing with Boruto, but it's kind of more for Boruto than it's for Naruto's sake. That's pretty much all I want to say about it, like as far as like what drives Boruto. What's going to be really interesting in the next couple of episodes, or like the next episode is going to be the actual attack.
Yeah, it looks like they summoned a Biju type being.
It sounds just like the very first episode of Naruto, and every single flashback relates to that first episode.
Yeah.
When the Nine Tails attacks, it's like, oh no. And I really want to see, like, especially with the preview showing like Kakashi, how Kakashi's going to do things. And just seeing like how Naruto responds with all of this, and just how this entire case gets resolved, knowing how the timeline is going to be at the end of the day. And also how Boruto and the others are going to respond. I have a feeling that someone's going to die. Someone's going to die.
Someone had better, like, for no reason other than it just makes sense.
This is just like my prediction. Like maybe the class rep might get like injured, or something happens to her where you will never see her. Because like she seems like too significant of a character. Also DangIT as well.
DangIT is a pretty big character.
This is just based off the fact that like the manga's running alongside this, and you know, I've seen anime before that just kind of like branch off from the manga completely, take a different perspective, and I'm not sure if Boruto will do the same thing. But if they want to do like the story right, then they'll probably not do that and try to stay true to it, which means someone's probably gonna die. Which I won't look forward to, but it will definitely really stir the anime in a way that should be right for like the new audience.
It's gonna stir the pot. There it is.
For the drama.
For the drama, Justin. You know all about that, don't you?
What are your thoughts on the next episode, or if anything of like what's been happening?
I'm excited for it. I really am. In all honesty, I'm hoping that something big does happen. I don't think it's gonna revolve around the class rep, but knowing what I know from just like trivia about the characters, it would be cool if Mitsuki, well, depending on who's in the battle, if Mitsuki and Shino and all the other kids are there, Mitsuki activates his Sage mode.
Yeah.
Because he has an inability to control it. He doesn't know how to control it, but he can use it. Hopefully Naruto doesn't do any Hokage level stuff.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that will not actually happen just due to the fact of like how Boruto responds in the movie. Boruto is not aware of like his father's like real power.
Well, even in the movie, even though he did Hokage level, he didn't even really do Hokage level. The first time that I see it is in a Gaiden.
Yeah.
Where he takes a freaking shuriken to the gut and then enters his six path, or not his six path, but his Sage mode Kurama.
I mean, I'm just thinking in the fact that like, what's the word? The fact that Boruto doesn't see all of like Naruto's powers, except for like Sage mode, for example. But otherwise, he doesn't know about like the Beast mode at all. I don't think that if Boruto is involved in the fight in any way, like whether observed from afar or actually in the fight.
Yeah. If Boruto's there, Naruto doesn't do anything special.
Yeah.
If he's not there, he might.
Or plays on the defense, but in a way that doesn't like, isn't causing him to like stir up his like Nine Tails chakra at all. Other than that, I'm hoping that like when this arc ends, Gaiden will pick up immediately after, because I feel like that would be a pretty smooth transition, especially since they're still in school. Because I still don't believe that they'll be in school for the longest. Unless they really want to.
That, and it seems like they're already reaching their end as what is her name?
Which one are we talking about? Which girl are we talking about?
The freaking broom hair.
Moogie.
Yeah, Moogie and
They're scouting. That's right.
They're like taking real hard looks at them now.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, it should be like guidance like right after then.
I would say that they have the big fight, the end of the big fight, and then probably 1 or 2 episodes followed by graduation.
Yeah, okay. And then we just pick up straight into the movie as well. Or maybe not. Maybe the movie will be like held off a little bit later because Boruto will still have to learn all the different like, I guess like elemental stuff that he apparently knows. That's pretty much all I'd say. Gabe, anything else? Or I think we can end the video afterward.
Man, I'm just super stoked to see a big fight.
Yeah, I want to see like the grand scale. I want to see the beast actually. Like we've seen like little bits of it, like the chimera monster, but to see it in full, like in its apparently full scale like form, which looks to be as big as Kurama, if not maybe half the size, and that's still.
I don't think
big.
it would be as big as Kurama. Like it looks big, but I'd say it's about half of the size of Kurama. Because it didn't seem massive.
Yeah.
Because if it was massive, they would have sent troves of ninja.
Right.
It just looked like they sent a couple squads.
Yeah. But in any case, I guess we'll just see in the next episode. Yeah. So we'll end. We'll end the discussion here. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next discussion. #bye.